The woman's laughter echoed through the marble lobby, sharp, cruel, and unforgettable. "You, filthy beggar, get out before I call security," she hissed, glaring down at the frail old lady clutching a worn scarf to her chest. The old woman's eyes trembled with hurt, her voice barely a whisper. I just wanted to see my son." But the young secretary didn't care. She pushed the woman away, not realizing she had just humiliated the mother of the billionaire who signed her paychecks. "Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you were watching from. I loved knowing who's listening." The secretary's name was Lena Brooks, a woman who had fought her way out of poverty and vowed never to look back. She worked for Ethan Cross, the cold and commanding CEO of one of the city's biggest corporations. Ethan was rich, powerful, and respected. A man everyone feared and admired. But Lena admired him for another reason. She secretly hoped to win his attention, believing that marrying a man like him would finally erase her poor past. So, when the shabby old woman stumbled into the lobby that morning, dirt on her shoes, clothes torn, hands trembling, Lena's instinct was disgust. She didn't see a human being. She saw a threat to her perfect image. "Madam, this is private property," Lena had said sharply. "Go beg somewhere else." The old woman's eyes glistened. "Please, I need to see my son, Ethan Cross. He's my boy." Lena scoffed. "Do you even hear yourself? Mr. Cross's mother died years ago." She motioned for the guards. "Take her out." As the old woman was led away, the scarf she'd been holding slipped from her hands. It fell onto the polished floor, embroidered with a single golden letter. E. That night, Lena couldn't sleep. The image of the old woman's trembling hands haunted her, but she brushed it off. She had an early meeting the next day. Morning came. Ethan Cross arrived at the office later than usual, his face pale, his expression colder than usual. He barely greeted anyone before heading into his office. Lena brought him coffee, trying to appear confident, but as she entered, she saw something that stopped her heart. On Ethan A.'s desk lay the same scarf she had seen yesterday, the one with the golden letter. Ethan looked up, eyes clouded with pain. "Security found this outside last night," he said quietly. "Someone said an old woman was thrown out of the lobby." He paused. "That woman was my mother." The words hit like thunder. Lena's knees weakened. "Your mother? But they said she disappeared 10 years ago." Ethan interrupted, his voice trembling. "Everyone thought she was dead, but I never stopped looking. She left after my father died. Said she couldn't bear this life anymore. I thought she'd moved on. But she came back." His eyes narrowed. "And someone threw her out." The silence was suffocating. Lena wanted to confess, but fear froze her tongue. Ethan dismissed her coldly, unaware of the truth. Later that day, police discovered an unconscious woman near the river. Frail, shivering, barely breathing. Ethan left everything and rushed to the hospital. When he arrived, the doctors shook their heads. "She's in critical condition. Exposure, dehydration. She might not make it." Ethan took his mother's hand and whispered, "I'm here, Mom. I'm here." And for the first time, the man who built empires broke down in tears. Meanwhile, Lena sat alone in her apartment, staring at the mirror. The face that once filled her with pride now filled her with shame. She had everything she thought she wanted: status, money, respect, and yet she felt smaller than ever. That night, unable to bear the guilt, Lena went to the hospital. She found Ethan sitting outside the ICU, his face buried in his hands. "I was the one," she confessed, her voice trembling. "I didn't know who she was. I thought she was another beggar." Ethan looked up slowly. His eyes were red but calm. "You thought wrong," he said softly, "but you're not the only one who did. I spent years thinking money could fill the holes in my life, and it made me blind, too." He stood, walked to the window, and whispered, Do you believe people deserve second chances, Lena? Tears blurred her vision. I don't deserve one. Maybe not, he said, but she would have given it anyway. My mother always did. Days later, Ethan's mother regained consciousness. She was weak, but alive. When Lena entered the room with flowers, the old woman smiled faintly. You're the girl who yelled at me, she said gently. Lena's tears spilled over. Yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry. The old woman reached for her hand. Then don't waste time being sorry. Do better. That moment changed Lena forever. She left her job soon after and began volunteering at the same shelter Ethan's mother had once stayed in. She no longer saw ragged clothes or dirty hands, only stories, only hearts. As for Ethan, he didn't fire her. He respected her honesty, and over time, their paths crossed again. This time, not as boss and secretary, but as two people changed by the same lesson. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And sometimes, the poorest soul in the room is the richest teacher of all. If this story touched you, share it with someone who believes in second chances. And don't forget to subscribe for more cinematic stories that remind us, true worth isn't tea and wealth. It is in the heart that forgives.